Yo, what's up guys, it's me Jake here, and I know it's a little bit late for this, but I'm deciding to do my July manga haul. I did pick up quite a bit actually, a lot of it actually, which I didn't expect again. Of course, this is not nearly as big as my June manga haul, but I am happy with what I got, and I do think I did get quite a bit, and I want to show you guys what I did get in the month of July, so let's get straight into that. Now, to start off this haul, I'm going to be showing off 4 volumes that I got more recently, actually, but that's going to be High Rise Invasions 3 and 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, because these are 2-in-1s. I got this off eBay for a really good price. Of course, they do have remainder marks, but that really doesn't bother me. I'm just very excited to have these volumes. I got them for a really good price. I also got a spare volume 1 and 2. I might be selling that very soon, so just letting that be known. And I actually did make a video about my opinions on High Rise Invasion. If you've not watched that, then card will be right here. Go watch that if you want to hear my opinions on High Rise Invasion. But yes, I do want to get more of this. I think it's going to be 21 or 22 volumes in all. I think it's just about to complete, so I'm trying to find as much of this as possible, even though it's a terrible, terrible out-of-stock issue that I really can't avoid. So hopefully I can find 5 and 6, which I hear is a really hard one to find, but that's just my luck. Of course, I have like a bunch of the early on volumes, but the one that's really hard to find. But that's the whole entire reason of collecting, is trying to get those hard volumes. But yeah, that's High Rise Invasion, and on to the next thing I got. Now, sticking with the theme of 7 Seas, we're going to be talking about another series I'd never even heard of before actually seeing this at a Barnes & Noble for half price because it has a remainder mark. That is Versailles of the Dead. This is actually a French Revolution zombie manga, and when I heard that, I had to instantly pick it up because I feel like that would just be such an interesting concept to deal with, is zombies and the French Revolution. Just combine them and that's sick, so I definitely had to pick this up. It was only like $6 since it was having this remainder mark, so, and it's not even that bad condition at all. Yes, there's a little bit of yellowing on top, which you might not be able to tell because of my ring light, but otherwise, it's basically mint condition for half price, and it seems very interesting. So I cannot wait to actually get into Versailles of the Dead and actually read it, because I've yet to actually read this because I've been very busy this month, but it seems very interesting and I cannot wait to start it. And now the next one is actually something I very much was excited for, because I did actually watch the anime for the series that was on Netflix, The Great Pretender Volume 1. I loved the anime for this. It was inching towards like my top 15. The ending was kind of meh, I will admit it. The last arc was kind of meh, but otherwise, I think that this was something I was super duper hyped for. The art looks pretty dang good, if I will admit. I'm trying not to show spoilers, but the art looks pretty good for what I'm seeing. I definitely did like the story from the anime, so I cannot wait to actually get into it in the manga, but I'm going to let a couple more volumes release before I actually get into the manga, so I actually can read a bunch at a time instead of having to wait the 4 months like I usually do. Because, you know, that's kind of annoying to wait, so kind of just gonna wait for more volumes to release than just binge it, but what can you do? But yeah, that's The Great Pretender Volume 1. Now, the next 13 volumes I actually got from a smaller, way more not as well-known publisher as One Piece Books. And if you don't know anything about One Piece Books, then you probably won't know this, but it's a pretty big series that they're printing, and the only reason I got these light novels, I will talk about it, it is a light novel. The only reason I got these light novels is because Season 2 got delayed. Now, if you know anything about anime, the Rising of the Shield Heroes anime, Season 2 just got delayed, so I decided, why not just pick up the first 13 light novels in Rising of the Shield Hero, as it was actually on the Viz birthday sale. So I had to take advantage of it and try and get as many as possible. These covers are super nice. I really like them. I cannot wait to actually get into it. I think the anime goes up to around light novel 7 or 8. So I had to be safe and pick up the first 13 just in case. And wow, I cannot wait to actually get into this, as I've been a big Rising the Shield Hero fan ever since the anime actually aired. And of course, a lot of people were huge Rising the Shield Hero fans when the anime aired. Of course, I think the turn it took near the end was kind of weird, but hopefully with these light novels, I can actually get way more into that turn and see why they did it. Because if it's going to have that turn near the ending of the anime, of course, and still have like 10 more light novels after it, they must have did something. So we shall see what my opinions are on it in the light novels when I get caught up. But of course, I've not yet read much this month. But yeah. Rising the Shield Hero 1 through 13. Now, the next series is actually a self-print that is sold on Amazon and is a really good series that recently was taken off Amazon as well, but both Volume 1 and now Volume 2 have now came back on Amazon. And of course, I do have the original printing of Volume 1. Volume 2 of Dog Ningen. Oh my god, this is such a great series. If you like One Punch Man-esque series, Dog Ningen is the series for you. Very much not able to really explain what it's about. I feel like if I explain it, it kind of takes away that kind of comedic factor in it. So I would actually suggest picking up Volume 1 on Amazon and then just actually putting into your opinion about the series after that, or read it on scans and support the manga after that by getting on Amazon, which either one you want to do, because I really want to support him because he's making such an amazing series and I really do enjoy it. But Dog Ningen Volume 2, hopefully we get a Volume 3 soon, because I know Trish will be on the cover. Sorry, her other name is quite profound, so not gonna let that be said. But yeah, on to the next series that's not self-published. Yeah. Now, as a Shuzo Oshimi fan, you know I have to get everything he has. Now, this makes it so I basically have everything he has out in English, but one volume. And this volume is Shino Can't Say Her Name. Mine came in a little bit scuffed, so I'm going to have to replace it, but otherwise, I cannot wait to actually get into it. The volume is such a weird texture, but I really do enjoy it. It's more paper feeling than actual glossy volume, and it's not feeling like matte. It actually has a lot of texture to it. But yeah, of course, Shuzo Oshimi's art style always hits. His art is always amazing. I love his art style. Probably can get through this in like 10 to 20 minutes, probably, if it's not one of his more wordy things, because of course Shuzo Oshimi tells the stories through his art and not through his words, and I really do enjoy that about Shuzo Oshimi, as it really differs himself from a different mangakas and makes him my favorite manga of all time that's made a couple works. Of course, if I'm going to say mangas that only made one, Taro Miura and maybe Oda would be above him, but otherwise, Shuzo Oshimi is probably my favorite mangaka. That's that. Now, for the next volume, which is actually a Kodansha volume, if you don't follow me on Twitter or my Instagram, I did make a meme out of my first copy of this volume, as it came in very scuffed, so I decided to scuff it up even more. Links in the description for my Twitter, by the way, if you want to follow me. It's going to be down there, so might as well follow me as I'm plugging it. But that's going to be Shaman King Omnibus 3. It's actually pinned to my Twitter if you want to see the picture of how I scuffed it. I'm not going to actually show it, so follow my Twitter if you actually want to see it. It's pinned on my account, so you'll be able to just go on my tweets and you'll see it. But yeah, this very much is super exciting, as I cannot wait to get into Shaman King. I'm waiting for volume Omnibus 5, I think I said, 5 or 6 to come out, and I think that's coming out in November. So I'm very close to actually being able to continue reading this, as I basically read up to where volume 2 ends in the omnibuses. I read the first 6 volumes, so yes. I've yet to read this, of course, so I cannot wait. I really love the connecting spines, and I cannot wait to see the next one, which was going to be a yellow spine, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's coming out August 17th, so we'll see next manga haul what that looks like. Next up is going to be starting my Yen Press stuff, which I actually got quite a bit from Yen Press because of this birthday sale. And starting off is going to be Trinity 7 Volume 23. I think Volume 24 is coming out soon as well. Yet to start this, but I know I'll like it, as I did really enjoy the anime, and I also do like my harems and romances, and fantasies, so of course it's just fitting all my niches, and I really do enjoy the anime, and I love this art style, so cannot actually wait to get into it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Trinity 7. Pretty short segment for this, but I don't have much else to say, I guess. Next up is a volume that's really interesting, and that's the maid I hired recently is Mysterious. Now, in my manga I'm hyped for in July. I mentioned this. I mentioned it for one reason. Every time the maid is shown, her eyes are purple. Every single time in this volume, it is actually inked purple. And that's something I think is very unique to this series, is they actually have slight bit of coloring details, and depending on her emotion or her facial expression shows how light and how dark they put her eyes. And I really do like that sudden touch, and I cannot wait to get more of this. It's also one of Yen Press's more thinner volumes, which they also have another volume that's also pretty thin. But yeah, cannot wait, and I'll show you guys the next volume that is super thin right now. Now, the next volume that's also thin from Yen Press is Sex Ed 120%. I believe this is a harem, but I don't know anything about it. It just looks really interesting. The art style was really cute, and I cannot wait to actually read it. And the synopsis on the back got me enticed because I thought it was super unique. If you guys want to read that, pause the video, and there you are. Hopefully it's focused good enough, but yeah. And hopefully that didn't mirror, because if it mirrored, wow, I hate my life. But yeah, I don't really know much else to say. I'm going to read this soon when I get more time, because this is probably the first volume I'm going to read when I get time, because I'm really interested to see what it's like before I pick up any other volume, because this could be a very hit or a very miss for me. But we never know. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Sex Ed 120%. Now, if you don't know, I'm a huge light novel fan, and not only that, I'm a huge Danmachi fan. If you don't know anything about light novels, Danmachi, Volume 16 most recently came out in July. I forgot to put that in the manga I'm hyped for in July because it's a light novel and I didn't see it, but Volume 16. This volume looks pretty interesting. I don't know how I feel about the cover, but otherwise, cannot wait to read this. Of course, I'm only around light novel 9 right now of Danmachi, so I've yet to get anywhere near this one, but I will be getting here because I want to start going back into Danmachi because I've yet to read it in a really long time, and I hear it just gets better and better and better. And Season 3 was probably my favorite season of the anime, so I cannot wait to see what's past that, as there's a lot of blooming things at the end and the season finale of Season 3, which that season finale literally made me make a video on it, so cards up there for that. Really great video, I think, and a very, very good season finale for Season 3. Love Danmachi, highly suggest it. But what I did pick up is Haruhi Suzumiya. I watched a little bit of the anime, but I thought the light novel would probably just be a better experience. Then I found out all of them have different names, and it isn't numbered, so it's very annoying. But of course, I looked up the read order, and thank you to my homie Shrek on Discord. He also helped me with this to actually know the correct read order as well by sending me a picture of it. So thank you a bunch, Shrek, and cannot wait to get into Haruhi. He also read Volume 1 and told me it was pretty darn good and not what he was expecting. So I'm very excited to actually get into Haruhi, which is around, I think, 9 volumes. And then there's the spin-off 10th one, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the spin-off 10th one. But otherwise, there's 9 light novels, if I'm not mistaken. And I cannot wait to actually get into it. I got the complete set. Really interested in Haruhi. I've been for a while, and the Right Stuff birthday sale really just made me just want it more. So I just picked it up off a whim. Hopefully I enjoy it, and hopefully I read it soon. Now, next thing I actually forgot I got until I just looked at my to-read shelf, and it was there, and that's Welcome to the NHK's novel. I hear the anime actually has a couple more arcs, like the Suicide Pact arc, and a couple more others that are pretty good that they actually drop in the novel because the novel was written first, and those are technically filler in the anime, but I picked it up on the Right Stuff birthday sale because I loved Welcome to the NHK's anime a while back when I watched it, and it was really interesting to me, so I wanted to get the novel. And it's a really nice looking novel. I really enjoy the spine. I know it's really simplistic and it's not really that great, some people would say, but I really love the colors. This ring lights are really doing it dirty because it's not nearly as bright as it is when I'm looking at it compared to when the camera's looking at it, but otherwise, really cannot wait to read more of this. As you can tell, I've basically read nothing, so I cannot wait to get into this more and actually read it. And I'll probably make a video on it when I finish the novel because I'm really excited to read more, and I hope it stays good. I hope it's as good as the anime. That's all I have to say. This one is going to start my Viz section, and I have to say, huge thank you to the homie HVL Manga. Card is going to be right here. She got these both for me for an insane price. She gave these to me so homie price. I'm not gonna say it. I saved a lot of money as if I was gonna get these online, and that's gonna be Gintama 21 and the big seller 20th Century Boys Volume 19. Oh my god, I am 1 volume away to finishing both these series, Volume 6 and 17. I might spend big bucks on them, but I'm very excited to have these volumes. Thank you so much, HVL Manga, for selling me these and finding me these. I'm so excited now. Some of my grails that I've been really working towards are super close to finishing. My Gintama, my 20th Century Boys, my JoJo's is 2 volumes away. For my singles, of course. What else? My Monster Hunter, Flash Hunter, that's not really going too well. But everything else is doing significantly better than I would have hoped. I cannot wait to finish these series, and I very much hope I can get them for cheap, because these were steals, and I want to say thank you again. Yeah, then on to the next one. As not a big Taiyo Matsumoto fan, as the only thing I've read from him, didn't really enjoy much. I don't know why I bought this, but it looked really interesting, and I'm really hyped to read it, and that's number 5. This kind of lettering looked way cooler online, I will admit, but the kind of effect it has is really interesting still. The shininess of it and the matte of the rest of the volume is really interesting, and I actually think even if this might have came out before Ping Pong, I feel like this art, just by skimming through it, already is better than Ping Pong's. Because I think that Ping Pong's art was very bad, and I know people say, oh, the art's not the only thing that matters, the story. I don't think the story's that good for Ping Pong either. I don't really enjoy it, but I will say, this looks interesting. I cannot wait to get into number 5, and I only hear good things, so I'm going to wait and try to find time for this, as it looks very interesting in my eyes, and I will say, this panel alone automatically is better than every single thing Ping Pong has ever came out of Ping Pong. I'm sorry. Next one that actually came out last month and I'm really excited to read, but of course I'm waiting for a couple more volumes to come out to binge them, is My Hero Vigilantes Volume 10. Now, I actually did think My Hero Vigilantes was better than My Hero's main story for a while, until I caught up with My Hero Weekly, and now I think that My Hero kind of is just better than Vigilantes, but I will say Vigilantes is still a super solid manga that I really do enjoy. And I will say they actually do somewhat spoil Vigilantes in My Hero, with around the beginning of the war arc, I do believe. There's something that happens to Aizawa that happens around volume 7 and 8 inside of Vigilantes that you figure out in the original storyline of My Hero Academia, which kind of spoils Vigilantes a little bit, but I think it was just to have a nod to say, this is canon, you guys should read My Hero Vigilantes because I'm going to be using it more by Kohei or Koshi. I really do love how they're doing that, as Vigilantes is a great manga and I highly suggest it. Next up, something I'm actually currently reading, Undead Unluck Volume 2. I'm currently on chapter 6 of Volume 1, technically, of Undead Unluck, and I'm really very much enjoying it, way more than the next series I'm going to be talking about, as I did make a video on that, and Undead Unluck, really interesting right off the bat. Really enjoy it. The characters of Andy and Izumu, I think her name is, I can never remember her name, way more interesting than the whole entire cast in the next series I'm going to be talking about, so I think I should just stop talking about Undead Unluck because I love it, and I already say that a lot. Talk about the next series where I already got a lot of hate from. Mashal. Don't really like Mashal too much. I actually currently am now up to date on it weekly, and I thought it was pretty meh. But I will say the art is pretty interesting. I like the art. Otherwise, I don't really like much of Mashal. I'm only getting this to support Hajime Komodo, and yeah, that's basically it. I just want to support Hajime Komodo. I did kind of forget his name for a second, but I did remember it. Don't forget, I did just remember it. So I'm getting better. I'm getting better at remembering names, which I will not be able to remember any of these side characters' names because they're all forgettable. Next is an amazing manga with the best girl on the front, Chainsaw Man Volume 6, with the best girl, Rezi, on the front and back. Love Rezi, love Chainsaw Man. This is the closest I've been to actually moving something in my top 10 in a while. Now, I will say Tokyo Revengers did take my number 4 spot, but otherwise, it's the closest thing to come near my top 10 in a very long time is reading Chainsaw Man, and I caught up to it. And of course, once all the physical volumes come out, I'm just going to reread it, as it was such a journey. This is such a good manga by Tatsuki Fujimoto, and I cannot wait for the part 2 Chainsaw Man to finally come out. Of course, we don't know when it's going to come out, but I will also say his one-shot Look Back was also really good, so I cannot wait for that volume to come out in Japan in September. So I feel like Look Back will probably just get an English release because Tatsuki Fujimoto's name is on it, but otherwise, yeah, very much excited to get more Chainsaw Man, very much suggest it. I know it's having still a huge stocking issue to this day, but if you ever find volumes of it, definitely check it out, definitely pick it up, a very good manga. So, next up is going to be a volume that's actually really hard to find, not in the best condition, but way more better of a condition than my other volume that's rare from the series, Kekkaishi 14. I finally got it. I finally got the 2 hard volumes, volume 1 and 14. Of course, not the best condition, very yellow, but I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get, because this series is something I've been really interested in actually reading, since it is an Exorcist series, and if you don't know me, I love all Exorcist series, so I cannot wait to actually read it, and I was just waiting to get 1 and 14 to actually collect the rest, and now that I have it, I'm just going to probably just spend a bunch of money and get the rest. I'll be very honest. That's all I have to say for that. Next series, the series I really did enjoy for a while, Nowadays, I don't like it nearly as much, but it's still pretty enjoyable, and that's Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't like the darker turn it takes around volume 10-ish, right after Gojo's past arc, as I think Gojo's past is the peak of JJK. But I think it's a solid, okay manga at this point. I think the Shibuya arc was really overrated for me, but otherwise, I think it's a pretty good manga. Definitely suggest it in volume 11. Looks really cool with one of my favorite characters on it. Just Nanami is so cool. Gojo and Nanami probably, and Fushiguro are my top 3 characters in all of JJK. And yeah, very much enjoyed JJK's first 9 volumes, and nowadays it's not nearly as good for me, but it's still pretty good, so I would suggest it. Highly suggest it. Now, for the next series, I'm really excited to talk about, as I finally got most of the volumes. Now, I know you might be saying I didn't get all the volumes. I actually have a lot of the beginning ones missing. That's because they were out of stock on Right Stuff, and I didn't feel like waiting 6 months for these. That's Beastars. I got volumes 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know 13 is just coming out recently, but I don't know if it's actually out yet or if it's coming out soon, but I had to get these. They were on sale, and I've been wanting Beastars for a really long time. I just didn't want to wait that like 8 months for waiting for them to come back in stock, so I just got all the ones that were in stock literally second of the sale dropping, as I loved Beastars Season 1. I'm waiting for Season 2, even though I think it's already out on Netflix. I just haven't watched it yet. Really loved Season 1. I hear Season 2 is just as good, so cannot wait to watch that. Not rewatch that, but I'm probably going to rewatch Season 1, actually, before I get in Season 2. So I have a kind of a refresh on my memory of everything, but yeah. Cannot wait to get into Beastars. Love Legoshi, love Haru, love the whole entire cast. Really interesting and very good from what I've watched already, and I cannot wait to start reading this once I get those 4 volumes I'm missing. Now, I actually super duper hated on the look of this on Twitter and Instagram when it got announced, but now that I have it in hand, it looks great. But of course, I get it scuffed, and that's going to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Volume 1. In person, this thing looks beautiful. I will admit that. I love the look of this in person. Just online, it doesn't look too great, I'll admit it. But if you can't tell, the top of my spine is a little bit scuffed right there. And not only that, oh, here's the spine, by the way. It's a really nice looking spine. I also have a little huge rip right here, so I'm going to get this replaced on Amazon. I really don't like that. But I will say, oh my god, Jorno looks like such Chad on this. Love the look of Volume 1 of Part 5. Cannot wait to get more Part 5. And of course, there's this one legendary panel that is just so nice. Love that as an opening panel. I love that as an opening page. And if you don't know, Part 5 is my favorite part. So seeing this gets me super happy. Now, I've yet to watch or read past Part 5. So Part 7, I've yet to read what everyone says is the best part of JoJo's. But Part 5 is my favorite part, which is kind of still a kind of hot take because Part 4 exists. But Part 4 is in very close contention, but yeah. Love Part 5, cannot wait to start reading this, and it looks really good, just the volume alone. I love this back cover. It's one of my favorite back covers of all time. Just makes sure it looks like such a Chad. But yeah, I think that should be it for the video. I don't really have much else to talk about. I will say, as a little bit of an announcement and a teaser, next week or the week after that should have a collection video in that week. So get excited. I'm going to finally make another collection video after all this time, as it's been way too long since I made one. I think I said I was going to make one every 3 to 4 months. I literally haven't made one in, I think, 6 or 7 months. So get excited. I'm going to make one next week. And yeah, that's the only thing I really have to say nowadays. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope I see you guys next time. Peace!